This is the plaintiff, Diego Rosales. He says he went to the defendant's tattoo parlor for a tattoo of the soccer player Messi. And when the tattoo was done and healed, Messi's face was a mess. It looked like he was in a car accident or something. His arm became infected, and now he has a big ugly mess on his forearm. He's suing for $4,969 because he needs to have this ugly thing removed from his arm. This is the defendant, Jose Luis Rios. He says the plaintiff brought a bottle of tequila to his tattoo appointment, and he and the artist got a little drunk during the session. When he looked at the finished product, the bottom half of the tattoo looked great, but by the time the face was finished, they were both drunk, and he admits it didn't come out too good. He offered to fix it himself. The guy demanded all this money back, so here they are. He's accused of a messy tattoo.
All parties, please raise your right hands. People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Williams now presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Mr. Rosales, what brings you here?
Yes, ma'am. So on August 17, I wanted a tattoo of my favorite player, Messi, and I actually
Leo Messi?
looked it up. Yeah,
Argentinian soccer player.
Yes, ma'am. So I looked it up and I called this tattoo shop, One Way Tattoo, and Mr. Rios picked up the phone. And I have several other tattoos that I've done to my arm. So Mr. Rios said, "Yeah, come in. We have no appointments. Come in." I got there. He was polite.
Did you come in that very moment?
Like maybe an hour later.
Oh, okay. And then if you have other tattoos, I presume you have other tattoo artists. Why were you picking someone new?
The thing is that my previous artist, he passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. All right, so now how did you get the defendant's name to begin with?
Oh, well, my mom works around that area, and I always looked at that place, and I looked up the reviews.
Okay.
And I like I said, I always ask. I mean, nobody's perfect. I understand that.
Right.
Then I asked him, and like I said, when I got there in person, an hour later, he was a polite guy. He's like, "Yeah, we'll do the job. Nice guy. I'll have this guy for you. He's really good." I said, "Are you sure?" "Yes." We went from there, and then it turned out to be like a mess.
Okay, and what happened?
Well, the thing is that I was sitting down, and my arm has to be basically on the left, and I really can't see because he's doing the artist.
Uh-huh.
After hours, he was taking breaks, but it was just turning purple. I really can't see the face. I kept asking. I take usually pictures, and I keep asking how is it going. He kept saying, "Oh, it's coming out great. It's coming good." I took some breaks. I admit I did buy everybody drinks, but like Snapples, Red Bulls, all the team, because it takes hours.
Right. Did you buy tequila?
I didn't buy tequila. You can't drink.
Well, no, I can drink. I don't know what you're talking. I don't want the tattoo artist to drink. I can drink, but
Oh no, well, yeah, well, like I said, I wouldn't drink. I wouldn't put the artist in that situation.
Okay, so did you buy alcoholic beverages?
For myself, I did.
Okay, and then you're seeing the job while it's being done, right?
I really can't see because the arm is just right here.
Well, what about when you take breaks? All these breaks you're talking about.
Oh yeah, I could see the job, but like I said, it's not fully done.
Right.
First, you have to do the trays.
So when it got done, were you happy with it?
No, because the thing is that at the end of the day, they put a plastic wrap.
Okay.
To heal allegedly and to let it rest, and I trusted the guy. 30 minutes later, when I'm in the road.
You say you trusted the guy. Why can't you look at the arm before he puts the thing on, or take a picture and look at the picture? I mean, you could do that, but in any event, you go home, and within an hour, what do?
Half an hour when I'm in the road going home, I unwrapped it because it was just itching too much, and it was just something abnormal from my previous tattoos. And I see the face like really bad, and I'm like, no, this is not right. And I see the whole body, everything just messed up, and eventually it turned just purple, and I ended up in the hospital because of a blood clot on the arm.
You ended up in the hospital because of a blood clot?
Well, I couldn't bend my arm. I could not bend my arm.
Do you have hospital records?
I actually went to the what's it called, the urgent care.
Okay, do you have those records?
I have them, but not with me right now.
Oh, well, okay. All right, so now you call Mr. Rios, because it's not Mr. Rios who did the tattoo, right?
Right, but it's a cell phone that I usually call or text, and everybody has the phone.
Okay.
I find out.
So you call Mr. Rios. Do you talk to Mr. Rios?
I did talk to him twice.
And then what does he tell you?
First excuse was the pandemic, and I said, okay, that's
Well, what do you
fine.
mean? Wait. When you tell him you're unhappy, what does he say?
Oh, he says, oh, no problem. I was nice to him. We were actually, have a civilized conversation. He did agree to pay back, but he insisted to fix it. He
Okay.
insisted. I said, no,
Did you
I don't
get your
trust you guys."
$500 back?
No.
Okay. And you say he insisted to fix it. What do you mean? But he said, let me fix it for you. Himself, meaning?
Right, I
Okay.
believe so.
Did you ever make an
So-
appointment to fix it?
Right, I made 4 appointments, and the last appointment was in December.
Wait, and the first
And
appointment, what happened?
On the first appointment, he said, "Oh, we can't make it. We're too full. We're too busy. We don't do redos right now. Let's try the next week."
Okay. Is this verbally or by text?
It was Beverly.
Then what happens in the second appointment?
He said that it was the pandemic, man.
When you say he says it was the pandemic, when did you get the original tattoo?
In August 17.
So, right, but of 2021.
Right.
Right. So when you say in the first one he says there's a pandemic, meaning what? That people had COVID who were the tattoo artists?
Everything was really extremely strict here.
Okay.
And,
So there
I
had
did
been
believe him.
a closing or something?
Right. There was a
Okay, I
closure.
got it. So then the third one, what happens?
He texts me, but he texted me on that one. And
Do you have the text?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then he tells you, this is in September, and he tells you what?
He tells me then let's try next Thursday.
Because you're saying, good afternoon, tomorrow, for sure I'll be there around 11. I won't fail. Was there a time you missed?
No.
Okay, because that's
usually
no
every time-
fallo is kind of a saying in Spanish when you're saying, you might have missed something, right?
No, file means I won't fail.
Right, I know, but there's no need. That doesn't need saying unless you failed before. Don't worry, I'm not going to fail. I'm going to be there. So you never missed any appointment, is your testimony, correct?
No.
Then in December, is this you scheduling the appointment? I'll come Thursday, please, Louis.
Yes.
And then the answer is, I guess, from someone else. Louis isn't here.
Right, and he says come over.
Come on Thursday.
Right.
So do you go on Thursday?
I go on Thursday, and then there was 2 gentlemen there, and they tell me, "Oh, it's you, the guy with the Messi tattoo." And I said, "Yeah, it's me." "Oh, okay, yeah. Well, right now we're booked." And I was frustrated. I'm like, "Wow, you guys are serious?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're sorry. And then I had my grandpa passed away, so I asked him, it was December, and I wanted to give kind of like a gift to my father, and I said, "You know what? Can you guys do a lettering?" And that's the picture right there. We could
So
do a
you
lettering,
actually
but
did another tattoo
Yes.
there that day?
Yeah, I still even give him another try. Yeah, just a lettering. Those letterings on my chest.
Which says, El que dedica su vida para el bien. It's cut off, so
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Those are my grandfather's words. Yeah, el que dedica su vida para el bien nunca muere, siempre vivirá.
He who dedicates his life to doing good never dies, always lives. Okay. And did they charge you for that tattoo?
Yes, they charged me $200.
All right. So you pay the tattoo, and it sounds like you're still happy with them because you're having them do another tattoo. When do you make any effort after that December date to get Mr. Rios to pay attention?
No, then after that, when I finished the tattoo, the guy wasn't there who originally did it. So I asked him, "Hey, bro, I want to set up the appointment for my fix." Then they came with an attitude. They're like, "You know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't do redos. How about you?"
Who said that?
Some other 2 artists that were at the shop when they did this tattoo.
But they're not
And
supposed to do the redo. Rios is supposed to do the redo, right? He's
Well,
the owner,
usually
right?
Right, but he's never there. So I'm like,
Yeah.
as long as they take
Mr.
orders,
Rios,
they do
what's
it right.
going on?
Mr. Rosales is lying. I'm sorry to say. I didn't. It's lying. It's lying for. It wasn't for 4 appointments. It was 2. I believe it was on Tuesday, but he never called me. He never showed up. And like a month after, he said he had a COVID. That's the reason he couldn't.
Do you have
go.
any texts where he tells you that he can't make an appointment?
Yes, I actually have that.
I don't have any
Hoping
text
because
from you. Did you submit the text to the court?
I apologize. I don't miss, but I can show,
Yeah, I can't
show,
read that. How am I going to read that? Put it up to the screen. Let me see what I can do.
I show it right now.
Put it up to the screen. Point to any text where he fails to appear. You said, oh, he texted that he had COVID. Show me that text. Point just to that text and bring it
Absolutely.
up to the.
I'll show it to you, Rick. Oh, here.
Ok. Buenas tardes, Luis. Llego el jueves a verlo sobre me enfermé de COVID. Yes. I had COVID, but I have recuperated. So apparently you missed an appointment too, and you were not being truthful about that.
He called me a month after the appointment. I was waiting for him that day, and I insist him I wanted to fix it, and I returned his money, and I gave him his money back. Cash.
Did you get a receipt?
No, I gave it
Why
to him.
Why would you give a guy cash without getting a receipt?
Because I was too busy working. And
then you're too busy to give the $500. If you have time to do this, you have time to say, I hereby acknowledge getting $500. That takes 2 seconds. Did he return your $500, Mr. Rosales?
No, ma'am.
Watch that. So now let's discuss the tattoo. I want you to lift your arm, Mr. Rosales, and let me see the tattoo.
Oh, yes.
So it's like the bottom looks good, and then the top is just not even.
No, not even close. I submitted pictures as well.
Yeah. Oy. This is pretty bad, right, Mr. Rios?
It is pretty bad, Mrs. Joner.
Yeah. Did you, does this tattoo artist still work for you?
No. I didn't fire him at the next day, but I asked him to take certain class in order to fix the tattoo and to fix his. He not supposed to be drinking at the store.
No, was your tattoo artist drinking?
Yes, Mr. Rosales took a bottle of tequila.
That doesn't mean your tattoo artist has to drink.
Yes.
Did you see him drinking?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you should stop him from drinking.
I tried, but they both were too getting along very well.
So you decided not to. You didn't try. You decided not to.
I didn't want to break his. I didn't want to break the party they have at that moment.
Oh, how'd that go? How'd that go? Now you find yourself in a lawsuit. How did it go to not have time to write a receipt and not exercise your obligation as the owner of the store and saying, you don't drink?
He's not supposed to be drinking, so he can be conscious and see what he's getting. He can be.
So why didn't you stop the whole thing if it's so dangerous?
Well, because when I went back to the store at 5 around 6 p.m. They already have ways of tattoo and have ways of. I can say that they had already.
Could you see that it was going poorly? The real answer is because he hasn't complained yet, because it hasn't become a problem yet. Because maybe he looks at it and says, oh, that's awesome, you caught the spirit, and then everybody can just move on with their lives. But he complained. I don't believe you totally, Mr. Rosales, when you claim that you kept making appointments and they kept, kicking the can down the road. I see where you failed to come to appointments too. I don't know why, if you were eager to get it fixed, I don't know why it didn't happen. But I wouldn't put all of the blame on him on it if there's times that you missed and just blew it off too. But at the end of the day, here's where we are. There's a really bad tattoo, and he wants it off now. He no longer wants somebody to fix it, right? What is it you want? Let me ask you, Mr. Rosales, face to face right now. Do you want me to set a time for him to fix it, or are you just done with this?
I'm done with this, ma'am. Yeah. It's not about the money. It's just emotional stress. People laugh at me every time I show. I mean, it's a big icon for me. It's in my body for life. It's not something petty, It's something big that I paid for and I want it.
So you're actually going to remove it?
I want to remove it. Yes, I want to remove it.
All right, we're done. If it's a shame that it didn't work out. It would have been better if it had. It would have been better if everybody had hustled right away to get a new appointment and that everybody attended instead of everybody just being real lax about it. Because now we're in the position where he doesn't want you to fix it. He wants his money to get it removed, which is a lot more than the 500. And I deduct from that the 500 that you gave him already if you could prove it, but you can't. So I am ordering $3,719. I'm not adding wages. I'm not, no, I am adding the 500 that you paid for the tattoo. He has evidence of what it'll cost to remove it. It's always infinitely more expensive to remove it. I'm adding to that the 500 that you cannot prove that you paid him. And I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $4,219. That is my verdict.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Wow, the plaintiff prevails to this in this lawsuit. He's going to get over $4,200 from the defendant. Mr. Rios, what's your reaction? What are you thinking?
I did my best, as right now, I try to just make Mr. Rosales happy. I take the responsibility just because I know.
You do. All right. I think you've probably learned a lesson from this, especially having your tattoo artist drinking while they're doing work, right?
We're gonna change. We're gonna change that. We're gonna try to take actions on.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's a hard lesson for you, but anyway, it's a good lesson for you to learn at some point here. Mr. Rosales, let me ask you something. You got a picture of this famed soccer artist on the underside of your arm where nobody's going to see it, really, unless you hold your arm up high so they can get a peek at it. Why'd you want it there?
I really didn't care what it was. It's actually meant for me. I love soccer. I love Messi. It's not for the people. It's for me. But like, hey, I live in LA. There's no parking. There's the only parking I could find on my arm.
You're running out of... I assume you have a lot of other tattoos. Am I right?
I sure do. I have my daughter, Camila, and the Patriots fans, and yeah, I do. But like I said, it's the only parking spot there was. So
you're going to have it removed now? You're going to get the money? You're going to do that?
Sure will.
Get rid of it?
I sure will. Get rid of it completely.
All right. Okay, well, good luck to you. I hope it looks all right when it's removed.
You know, Doug, there are a lot of subjective things that go on in court, and this is one where the judge has to evaluate the tattoo, look at it, and say, is this a competent job? But if you are a litigant, bringing an expert in, that really helps.
How do you find a runaway father that pays no child support and doesn't see his kids? Left my daughter with the house, bills, and 2 kids, and now she lost her job. They can't find him. Mortgage, insurance, bills, food, all in her lap. And we're helping her as much as we can, but we've both just retired. She needs help. Any suggestions?
To find a runaway parent who's not paying child support, you can use skip tracing services, which for a fee will try to find somebody. But a lot of times local district attorneys or state attorneys' offices will have a child support enforcement team.
Right. That's your first step, is to find out if your state or county has a child support enforcement team. Because then you have their resource. That's free. And you have their resources tracking them down, looking at credit cards.
Federal, state, local resource to try to find them. And you wouldn't believe the stuff they can do once they do find them, to mess with them until the money gets paid.
Yeah.
They can lose their driver's license. They can be ineligible for a U.S. passport. They can have lottery winnings intercepted before they can collect them. In Florida, I think it's over $600. And it goes on and on. I mean, there are a myriad of ways. The tax refund check that people get at the end of the
intercepted.
year, they can intercept that. They get ahead of these things so that the money's coming back.
Right. So step one is to find out if law enforcement in your city, town, state gets involved in that.